Good morning, students. In our previous class, we have understood the role of the police in investigating a crime. And in this, we have seen that the main important function of the police is to investigate, to find out uh, about the complaint, whatever complaint is being done by any of the citizen, and about the commission of the crime. And this investigation include the recording of the statements of the witness, means whosoever is witness, to record the statement of that witness on that particular complaint. And then also the police function by collecting the different kind of evidences, different kinds of proofs. If uh, any type of proof is there, then it is the duty of the police to collect those evidences. And then further, we have seen in this in a previous class about that the Supreme Court has also laid down the guidelines for the police, which to be followed at the time of arrest, detention, and interrogation. Now, at the time of arrest, whosoever the policeman is arresting a person, uh, then at that time the police should follow certain guidelines which have been provided by the Supreme Court. And on that basis only the police is not allowed to torture or beat or shoot anyone during the investigation. Whenever the investigation process is going on of any complaint, then at that time whosoever has been uh, caught in doing that guilt, at that time no torture, no beating, or no shooting can be done by the police. And they cannot also inflict any form of punishment on the person, even for petty offenses. Means छोटे मोटे जो ऑफेंस किए हैं, गलतियां की है, उसके उस पर भी policeman is not allowed to give any type of punishment to that particular person. So now Article 22 also we have understood about it, that Article 22, the Constitution and criminal law guarantees every arrested person the following fundamental rights. That about the fundamental rights we have understood, which are provided to the arrested person, the person who has been arrested for a particular crime, for violating any law, for harming the society. And in that case, the particular person is the arrested person is being provided fundamental rights by Article 22 of the Constitution. And those rights are that the right to be informed, that the person is right has a right to be informed about the time of arrest, when is he or she is to be arrested, and for what reason. Reason is to be also given for what reason he is being arrested. The right to be presented before the magistrate. Then another right of the arrested person is that he has to be presented before a magistrate within the 24 hours of the arrest. When a person is being arrested for for committing a particular crime, he or she has to be present before a magistrate within 24 hours of the arrest. Then second, not to be ill-treated or tortured during the arrest or in the custody of the police. Whenever the person is in the custody of the police, he or she should not be ill-treated or tortured. Then confessions made in the police custody cannot be used as evidence against the accused. Means any confession which is made in front of the policeman or in the police station, that cannot be used as an evidence, as a proof, because might be due to the uh, means torture, or due to the of fear of the policeman, might be the accused person had said yes for for committing the particular crime, had agreed for that particular crime. And that is why that evidence, that confession of the arrested person will not be counted or will not be used as an evidence, as a witness, or as a proof. Then another right given is the boy under 15 years of age and the woman cannot be called to the police station only for questioning, only for cross questioning, or only for asking questions about the commission of any of the crime. They, the boy under 15 years and the women, are also not to be called in the police station. Now, today we are going to start with DK Basu guidelines. Now, the Supreme Court of India has laid down specific requirements and procedures that the police and other agencies have to follow for the arrest, detention, and interrogation. Now, few guidelines have to be followed by the police and other agencies which are involved in the jurisdiction or in the process of criminal justice system. So few guidelines have to be followed for the arrest detention whenever a particular person is being arrested for a particular crime, for committing a particular crime, or any detention is being done. Detention means uh, to keep the person illegally in the custody of the police. So for all this and for the interrogation, for asking about the crime and all, so few guidelines are being there, and these guidelines are called as DK Basu guidelines. Under this guideline, first and foremost point is the police official who carry out the arrest or interrogation should wear clear, accurate, and visible identification and name tags with their designation. The police official, whosoever is carrying this investigation process, whosoever is going for the arrest of any person for committing a crime, he or she should be having a proper uniform, create an accurate visible identification that yes, he is the police officer, and a name tag should also be there with their designation, what really the position is there of that police officer. The memo of arrest should be prepared at the time of arrest. Now at the time of arrest, whenever a person is being arrested by the policeman, so a memorandum office order is to be prepared. Officially, the order, a memo means the official order. The official order should be prepared before beforehand only at the time of arrest, and should include the time and date of the arrest. And that office memorandum should include the time, at what time the person is being arrested and what date it is to be arrested, and it should also be attested by at least one witness who could include a family member of the person arrested. So person who is arrested for committing a crime, among in that in his family member, one uh, family member can be asked as a witness to sign this memo, this order of the government, which includes the time and date of the arrest of the uh, person who has committed a crime. The arrest memo should be countersigned by the person arrested. Then the memo should be also signed by the person arrested. The person who is being arrested by the police, he or she should also sign that order. That means he or she also should know, even the family should also know about the time and date of the arrest of that particular uh, person, guilty person. A person arrested, detained, or being interrogated has the right to inform a relative, friend, or well-wisher. Now, the person who is being arrested or who is being taken for any of the commission of the crime had the right to inform a relative, a friend, or a well-wisher about his arrest. अपनी अरेस्ट के बारे में किसी को बताना जरूरी हो जाता है कि मैं इस रीजन से अरेस्ट हो रहा हूँ. When a friend or relative live outside the district, the time, place of arrest, and venue of custody must be notified by the police within 8 to 12 hours after the arrest. Now, after the person is being arrested, then the friend or the relative who is living outside the district, means थोड़ा दूरी पे रहते हैं, तो उनको 8 से 12 घंटे के जब अरेस्ट हो जाते हैं उस बीच में उनको इन्फॉर्मेशन देना ज़रूरी है किसी के बारे में जिनको वो अरेस्ट कर रहे हैं. Now let us return to the story of Shanti and answer the following question. When Shanti was arrested for theft, SI Rao also kept her brother Sushil in the police lockup for 2 days. Was it legal for the police to detain him? Does it violate DK Basu's guideline? Yes, it violated the DK Basu guideline. It was not illegal without any means proof and all. Sushil was kept behind the bars and the police law. Now, did SI Rao do enough to question witness and compile evidence before arresting Shanti and filing case against her in keeping with the duties of the police as stated above? What else do you think SI Rao could have done as a part of his investigation? Means he should have investigated more. He should have collect evidences and proofs. Uh, Not only he should depend on the just witness or giving means putting an FIR on the basis of this Mr. and Mrs. Basu only, but the policeman should investigate more and try to collect more evidences and proof. Then only uh, they should arrest Shanti. But on the basis of only the envelope which was found in Shanti's truck, it was wrong on the police uh, according to the DK Basu, that it was wrong that policeman has not done uh, the duty well by her side, by his side, and that is why Shanti uh, was behind the bars just because of not proper investigation done by the police. Now, first information report. What is first information report, that is called as FIR. It is with the registration of an FIR that the police can begin their investigation into the crime. Now, as in the case of Shanti, we have seen that Mr. Basu has filed the FIR, first information report, to the police that Shanti has stolen the chain, and that is why it is the registration of the FIR that the police can begin the investigation to the crime. When FIR has been lodged, that means the policeman has the right to investigate about the commission of the crime. The law states that it is compulsory for an officer in charge of the police station to register an FIR whenever a person gives information about a cognizable offense. That means law states, according to the law, it is compulsory for an officer who is in charge of the police station to register this FIR, that is first information report of a person whenever if the information is about a cognizable offense. Cognizable offense means the offense for which the police may arrest a person without the permission of the court. So if this type of offense is being there done when the policeman is arresting a person without the permission of the court, that in that case FIR is very much important. This information can be given to the police either orally or in writing, and this information, first information report, can be given orally or in written also. The FIR usually mentions the date. Now, what all FIR, according to FIR, is FIR mentions date, time, and place of offense, detail the basic facts of the offense, including the description of the events. Now, what all FIR, first information report, has? It has the date, time, and place of offense, where the offense has been done, where the crime has been committed, uh, which date it is committed, what time it is there, and all these is written in details, and the detailed basic facts of the offense. What are the basic facts, lies, the proof or evidences, if they then they are all being written clearly in this report. If known, the identify of the accused person and witness is also mentioned. So if known, the identity of the accused person and witness is also mentioned. What is the identity of a person, particular identification, if person is having uh, and the witness is having, it should also be mentioned in the FIR. अगर उसकी कोई आइडेंटिटी है, अगर वो कोई गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस जॉब में है या कैसा है, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग भी उस FIR में लिखा जाता है. The FIR also states the name and address of the complainant. That means FIR में वो उनका नाम और एड्रेस भी होता है जिन्होंने कंप्लेन किया है. Not only the offender's name, uh, date, time of offense, and all is written, but the one who has made a complaint for the particular offense, that whose person's name and address is also mentioned in this report. Now, there is a prescribed form in which the police register an FIR and it is signed by the complaint. And particular prescribed form is there for this FIR, and for this FIR, it is signed by the complainant, the one who is complaining about the offense. It is duly signed by that person also, who is making a complaint about a particular happening in the society or violating any law. The complainant also has a legal right to get a free copy of FIR from the police. Now, whatever first information report is given by the complainant, that copy of that is also to be given to that person who has made a complaint related to any offense and all. So a free copy should be given to that person also who had made a complaint regarding any offense. So I hope this FIR report is also clear what all things are included in this FIR, and as soon as FIR report is being uh, lodged in the police or written, or it can be verbally also is given, the policeman starts the investigation into the crime. Now, what is the role of the public prosecutor? Now, this till here we have seen about the role of the police. Now comes to the role of the public prosecutor who fights the case on behalf of the state. The criminal offense is regarded a public wrong. Now, whatever offense is being done, it is done on, as regarded to the public wrong, means publicly किसी के विरुद्ध ये काम हुआ है. What is meant by this is that it considered to have been committed not only against the affected victims but against the society as a whole. और ये जो crime हुआ है, ये सिर्फ particular person को ही affect नहीं किया है, but it is affecting the whole society. पूरी सोसाइटी को इसका नुकसान हुआ है, and that is why it is a means violate of the law, violation of a particular law which is being done against the whole society, and that is why the public, it is the work of the public prosecutor to see to this case. Now, do you remember the case of dowry death of Sudha that we read about in previous lesson? The case against the accused Lakshman and his family was presented by the state. Now, this dowry death, ये जो हुआ था, ये केस फाइल किया गया था लक्ष्मण और उसकी फैमिली के अगेंस्ट में, एंड दिस वाज प्रेजेंटेड बाय द स्टेट. क्यों? क्योंकि ये एक तरीके से सोसाइटी के खिलाफ हुआ था, और सोसाइटी के खिलाफ क्या हुआ था, जो कि एक ह्यूमन बीइंग को जलाने की कोशिश की गई थी, एंड दैट इज व्हाई द केस वाज कॉल्ड स्टेट और वर्सेस लक्ष्मण कुमार एंड अदर्स. इसीलिए उस केस को स्टेट वर्सेस लक्ष्मण कुमार एंड अदर्स बोला गया था. सिमिलरली द केस कैन बी कॉल्ड स्टेट वर्सेस शांति हेम्ब्रम एंड नॉट मिसेस शिंदे और वर्सेस मिसेस हेम्ब्रम, शांति हेम्ब्रम. तो ये भी केस एक तरीके से सोसाइटी के विरुद्ध हो रहा है. ज्वेलरी वगैरह का स्टीलिंग हो रही है, तो ये भी एक तरीके से क्राइम हो रहा है स्टेट में ही, और इसीलिए स्टेट वर्सेस शांति हेम्ब्रम हुआ, ये केस का नाम दिया जाएगा. In court, it is the public prosecutor who represents the interest of the state. Now, in court, who represents the interest of the state? It is the public prosecutor. वो state की तरफ से लड़ते कि state में ये crime हुआ है, and who is responsible, क्यों responsible है, वो ये सब public prosecutor देखेगा. The role of a prosecutor begins once the police has conducted the investigation and filed the charge sheet in the court. एक जब जैसे ही पुलिस ने ये इन्वेस्टिगेशन स्टार्ट किया और चार्जशीट कोर्ट में लगाई है केस की, वैसे ही पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर का रोल स्टार्ट हो जाता है. ही और शी हैज नो रोल टू प्ले इन इन्वेस्टिगेशन, और इनका पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर का कोई रोल नहीं होता है इन्वेस्टिगेशन करने के लिए. उनको सीधा केस लड़ना है इसके, द वन हु हैज वायलेटेड द लॉ अगेंस्ट सोसाइटी. The prosecutor must conduct the prosecution on behalf of the state. State से वो लड़ाई मीन्स केस लड़ते हैं. As a officer of the court, it is his or her duty to act impartially and present the full and material facts, witness and evidences before the court to enable the court to decide the case. Now, as the public prosecutor is the officer of the court, and that is why it is the duty of public prosecutor to present the case full and material fact, whatever materials, evidences, proofs, witnesses, whatever are there. It is the duty of public prosecutor to present all the things clearly in front of the court so that the court can decide its whether the culprit is really done wrong or guilty, found guilty or not. So this was the role of public prosecutor to see or to present the facts, witnesses, and evidence, and to fight the case in interest of state. Now, next comes the role of the judge. The judge is like an umpire in the game and conducts the trial impartially and in an open court. So now judge, who is the judge? He is an umpire in the game and conducts the trial impartially and in open court. So he is the main umpire in the game and he conducts the trial impartially and in open court means he tried to uh, work impartially. He is not in favor of neither in favor of state nor in favor of a culprit. He has to give a fair judgment. The judge hears all the witnesses and other evidences presented by the prosecution and defense. Now, whatever evidences, whatever witnesses, the public prosecutor and the defense, we have already understood that the one who is defending the guilty person, both of them, whatever evidences, whatever witnesses they are presenting, it the judge responsibility of judge is to see to all those witnesses and evidences, and the judge decides whether the accused person is guilty or innocent, and finally the judge has to decide whether the accused person means जिस पे ये चार्ज लगाया गया है कि वो गिल्टी है, वो सचमुच में गुनहगार है या सचमुच में इनोसेंट है, उसने कोई क्राइम नहीं किया है, ये कौन डिसाइड करेगा? ये जज डिसाइड करेगा। और किसके बेसिस पे? ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एविडेंसेस प्रेजेंट इन एंड अकॉर्डेंस विद द लॉ। लॉ के अकॉर्डिंग जो भी एविडेंसेस, जो भी विटनेस है, उसके अकॉर्डिंग जज डिसाइड करेगा द पर्सन हु हैज बीन caught in any of the crime is really uh, means has really committed that crime or is being innocent. If the accused is convicted, then the judge pronounces the sentence. और अगर ज- जो अक्यूज है जिस पे इल्जाम लगाया गया है, अगर वो सचमुच में गुनहगार है तो जज अपना जजमेंट देंगे एंड ही में सेंड द पर्सन टू जेल और इम्पोज अ फाइन और बोथ डिपेंडिंग ऑन व्हाट द लॉ प्रिस्क्राइब। और अगर सचमुच उनको उनका गुनाह साबित हो जाता है अक्यूज पर्सन का, तो ये जज का राइट है या वर्क है कि वो उस पर्सन को जेल भी दे सकते हैं, जेल भेज सकते हैं या उनके ऊपर कोई फाइन लगा सकते हैं या जेल और फाइन दोनों भी लगा सकते हैं, जैसा भी लॉ बताया गया है। लॉ को फॉलो करते हुए वो उस अक्यूज पर्सन को, गुनहगार को जेल भी भेज सकते हैं या कोई फाइन कुछ पैसा देने के लिए भी बोल सकते हैं, और नहीं तो फाइन देने के लिए और जेल जाने के लिए, दोनों के लिए भी कह सकते हैं। Now, what is a fair trial? A fair trial क्या है? Now, let us for a moment imagine what might have happened if judge decided to try Shanti's case very differently. अब हम इमेजिन करते हैं कि जज ने अगर शांति का केस बहुत अलग तरीके से डिसाइड किया। What if court did not give a copy of charge sheet and statement of witness to शांति? अगर चार्ज शीट की कॉपी या विटनेस की जो भी स्टेटमेंट थी वो अगर शांति को नहीं मिलती, तो व्हाट विल बी द मींस कंक्लूजन ऑफ दिस केस? एंड व्हाट इफ ही हैड द ट्रायल इन सीक्रेट लोकेशन where neither Shanti nor Sushil were present? और जहाँ पर व्हाट इफ ही हेल्ड अ ट्रायल इन सीक्रेट लोकेशन मीन्स ऐसी लोकेशन में जहाँ शांति और सुशील वहाँ पर नहीं होते, तो इस टाइप से अगर कोई डिसीजन देना पड़ता तो वो कैसा होता? इफ did not give Shanti lawyer advocate Roy enough time to question the witness of the prosecution such as Mrs. Shinde, and instead had already decided that Shanti was guilty. Now, if Shanti has been not provided a lawyer by the state, स्टेट के द्वारा अगर शांति को लॉयर नहीं दिया जाता, तो एडवोकेट रॉय को टाइम नहीं मिलता विटनेस के लिए, मिसेस शिंदे से पूछताछ करने के लिए, और क्लियरली शांति को गिल्टी साबित कर दिया जाता, गलत साबित कर दिया जाता एंड गुनहगार साबित कर दिया जाता कि यस रियली शांति हैज stolen the chain. If this had happened, when it would be the case of unfair trial. So then if this all things would happen, then really the case would be the case of unfair trial. Means सही मायने में ये जस्टिस नहीं दिया जाता शांति को. This is because for a fair trial to be fair, or for a trial to be fair, several different procedures have to be observed. और सचमुच में गुनहगार को ही सजा मिले, इसीलिए ये सारे प्रोसेस होते हैं कि इफ यू आर नॉट हैविंग एन एडवोकेट और अ लॉयर टू फाइट फॉर यू, द स्टेट इज प्रोवाइडिंग, एंड you are having the right to put your point, your witnesses, your evidence also. And if you are not found guilty, then uh, you can be then cannot be put behind the bars. So Article 21 of the Constitution that guarantees the right to life states that a person's life or liberty can be taken away only by the following a reasonable and just legal procedure. Now, according to 21, Article 21, what does Article 21 says? Article 21 guarantees the right to life. सबको रहने का जीने का अधिकार है. ये हमको अधिकार जीने का अधिकार आर्टिकल 21 में दिया गया है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के. एंड पर्सन्स लाइफ और लिबर्टी कैन बी टेकन अवे, और उनकी लाइफ, उनको जीने का अधिकार नहीं मिलने का, और या उनकी इंडिपेंडेंस छीनने का सिर्फ किसको अधिकार है? लीगली अगर उन्होंने कुछ रॉन्ग किया है और अगर जज डिसाइड करता है तभी उन राइट टू लाइफ नहीं मिलेगा, अदरवाइज हर पर्सन को राइट टू लाइफ एंड लिबर्टी है जीने का. A fair trial ensures that Article 21 of the Constitution is upheld, और ये फेयर ट्रायल दिया जाता है सचमुच का एक सही डिसीजन. इसीलिए फेयर ट्रायल में सही डिसीजन इसीलिए दिया जाता है क्योंकि सबको जीने का समान अधिकार है, और अगर सचमुच कोई गिल्टी नहीं है तो उसको गलती से भी सजा ना हो जाए, इसीलिए ये बहुत ध्यान में रखा जाता है. Let us now return to Shanti's case as described in the storyboard and identify the essential elements of the fair trial. अब शांति केस में वापस रिटर्न होते हैं एंड वी विल आइडेंटिफाई. हम देखेंगे क्या 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 एसेंशियल इम्पोर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स हैं जिससे उनको फेयर डिसीजन मिला है. Firstly, Shanti was given a copy of charge sheet to and all other evidences that the prosecution presented against her. जो भी prosecution ने उसके against में evidences दिए थे वो सब, और चार्ज शीट की कॉपी वो सब शांति को दे दी गई थी. Shanti was charged with the offense of theft that was defined as crime इन द लॉ. और जब शांति पर चार्ज लगाया गया था कि उन्होंने चोरी की तो इट वाज डिफाइंड एज क्राइम इन द लॉ. लॉ के प्रति उन्होंने एक क्राइम कमिट किया था. द ट्रायल वाज हेल्ड इन एन ओपन कोर्ट. ओपन कोर्ट में एक ट्रायल किया गया था. उनको ये मीन्स केस लड़ा गया था इन पब्लिक व्यू, लोगों की भलाई के लिए. ब्रदर सुशील वुड अटेंड द कोर्ट हियरिंग, और उनके ब्रदर सुशील को ये राइट दिया गया था कि वो कोर्ट की हियरिंग्स अटेंड कर सकते हैं कोर्ट जा करके. एंड द ट्रायल वाज हेल्ड इन प्रेजेंस ऑफ अक्यूज्ड, और जिसपे इल्जाम लगा था वो भी प्रेजेंट था. दैट मीन शांति herself was present in the court. शांति was defended by the lawyer. इवन शांति को डिफेंड करने के लिए वहां पर लॉयर था, वो खुद प्रेजेंट थी. केस लड़ा गया ओपन कोर्ट में ताकि चुपके से कुछ मतलब अलग तरीके से बंद कोर्ट, बंद जगह पर नहीं कि किसी को पता नहीं पड़े. जो भी डिसीजन हुआ वो ओपनली हुआ. एंड शांति's lawyer advocate Roy was given an opportunity to cross examine. शांति लॉयर जो थी, शांति की वजह से की तरफ से जो डिफेंस लॉयर के रूप में लड़ रही थी एडवोकेट रॉय, उनको भी ये अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल गई थी कि वो एक तरीके से क्रॉस एग्जामिन कर सकती हैं। क्रॉस एग्जामिन मीन्स to question the witness who has already been examined by the opposing side in order to determine the uh, testimony means गवाही के तौर पे वो किसी को भी क्रॉस एग्जामिन उनकी वापस से बुला करके उनसे क्रॉस क्वेश्चनिंग पूछ सकती हैं। All the prosecution witness advocate Roy was also given an opportunity to present witness in Shanti's defense और एडवोकेट रॉय को भी ये अधिकार ये अपॉर्चुनिटी दी गई थी कि वो अपना विटनेस रख सके जो कि शांति को बचाने के लिए काम में आ सकते हैं, शांति को डिफेंड करने के लिए काम में आ सकता है। शांति गिल्टी नहीं है तो वो साबित करने के लिए। Although the police filed a case of theft against Shanti, पुलिस ने शांति के खिलाफ केस फाइल किया था। द जज अज्यूम्ड हर टू बी इनोसेंट, जज ने उसको इनोसेंट साबित कर दिया था। एंड इट वाज रिस्पांसिबिलिटी ऑफ द प्रोसिक्यूशन टू प्रूव बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट दैट शांति वाज गिल्टी, और इट वाज रिस्पांसिबिलिटी किसकी रिस्पांसिबिलिटी थी? ऑफ द प्रोसिक्यूशन to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Shanti was guilty means कोई डाउट के बने पर उसको शांति को गिल्टी साबित नहीं करना था, बट प्रूफ पक्का होना चाहिए कि यस शांति इज ओनली रिस्पांसिबल फॉर द स्टीलिंग। एंड इन दिस केस द प्रोसिक्यूशन फेल्ड टू डू सो, और इस केस में प्रोसिक्यूशन जो था जो स्टेट की तरफ से लड़ रहे थे वो अपना रखने एविडेंस रखने में अपना प्रूफ साबित करने में नहीं हो पाए पूरे। एंड इट इज सिग्निफिकेंट दैट द जज डिसाइडेड द मैटर ओनली ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ एविडेंस, और एविडेंस के बेसिस पे ही कोर्ट ने अपना डिसीजन दिया। द जज डिड नॉट जंप टू द कंक्लूजन, जज एकदम कंक्लूजन पे नहीं आए, बट उन्होंने अच्छी तरीके से सारे एविडेंसेस सारे विटनेस को लिसन किया, अच्छे से देखा। एंड शांति वाज द थीफ जस्ट बिकॉज शी वाज पुअर मेड सर्वेंट, और ये डिसाइड किया कि शांति को सिर्फ इसी बेसिस पे कि वो उनके यहाँ पर पुअर मीन्स वर्क कर रही हैं, पुअर मेड सर्वेंट है, गरीब हैं, इसीलिए उन पे ये चार्ज लगाया गया। इंस्टेड द जज रिमेन इम्पार्शियल, जज इम्पार्शियल रहे, उन्होंने किसी का साथ नहीं दिया, जो फैक्ट था उसी के बेसिस पे उन्होंने अपना जजमेंट दिया। And since the evidence showed that some young man and not Shanti was thief, he set Shanti free. और जब ये प्रूफ मिल गया, ये एविडेंसेस मिल गए कि दूसरे लोग जो कि सोसाइटी में नेबरहुड में ये काम कर रहे थे चोरी का, इस बेसिस पे फिर जज ने अपना फेयर डिसीजन दिया और शांति को फ्री कर दिया। इन शांति केस द जस्टिस वाज फाइनली डन टू हर बिकॉज शी वाज गिवन द फेयर ट्रायल, और इस केस में शांति के केस में शांति को जस्टिस क्यों मिला? क्योंकि उनको भी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली, शांति को भी अपना केस रखने के लिए, अपना एविडेंसेस अपने विटनेसेस खड़े करने के लिए, ताकि उनको फेयर जजमेंट मिल सके। Now the constitution and the law both state that all the persons that we have discussed in this chapter should carry out their roles in the proper manner. So the policeman, the public prosecutor, the judge, and the advocate, and the means defense lawyer, everybody should uh, do its role, carry out their role in the proper manner. Then only the case will give the court can give the fair judgment. Now, what this means is that they all need to work to ensure that every citizen, irrespective of their caste, color, creed, religion, ideology, background, gets a fair trial when accused. जब किसी को भी citizen को किसी का चार्ज गलत चार्ज लगाया जाता है, तो हर सिटीजन को, चाहे वो कोई भी कास्ट का, कोई भी क्लास का, कोई भी जेंडर का, कोई भी रिलीजन का, कोई भी बैकग्राउंड का हो, उनको अपना केस फाइट करने के लिए अपना व्यू पॉइंट रखने का राइट देना चाहिए। एंड द रूल ऑफ लॉ विच सेज दैट एवरीवन इज इक्वल बिफोर द लॉ। सो अकॉर्डिंग टू रूल ऑफ लॉ व्हाट इज देयर? According to rule of law, everyone is equal before the eyes of the law. It makes sense that if every citizen were not guaranteed a fair trial by the constitution, और इसीलिए हर किसी को रूल ऑफ लॉ है, इसीलिए सबको समान अधिकार है to be treated equally before the law. Now this comes to an end of the lesson. Now here you have to function role and functions of the policeman and all. You have to mark it here. That's all in the lesson we have read. First, we can say about policeman. What is the function of the policeman? Function of the policeman is first to record the statement. You can put number one to record the statement. Then again to take photographs of the burned homes and all. This is also the policeman. Then uh, arrest the fist offense, whatever fist offense are they, to arrest them. And then another, to get assaulted woman medically examined. This is also so four work of policemen. Then public prosecutor cross examines the witness, cross examine the witness. Then public prosecutor argue the case for the victims. This is also the work of public prosecutor. Then examine the witness in the court. This is also the public prosecutor only. Then uh, so next is defense lawyer. Defense lawyer again cross examine, can cross examine the witness. Again, this will be about also three number also. This is the third number for defense lawyer. We are putting third number here. Then defense lawyer another work is to examine the witness in the court. Here again number three can come. Then lastly meets the accused person also. This is also the work of defense lawyer, that it meets the accused person also here. Then fourth, judge hears the witness. Work of the judge, hear the witness. Then one more is there, that records the evidence. Whatever evidences are in front of the judge, it records it everything. Then next is writes the judgment. This will be also four, writes the judgment. Then decides for how many years the accused person should be going to jail. This also is the work of the judge. Then pass the judgment also. And finally conduct a fair trial also. So I hope it is clear. This will be number four. So for one, wherever one we have marked one here, now this is the comma. This is 1 year. This is 1 year. Okay, now this is comma. So I hope it is clear. Question answers, I'm going to share it in the group, and on student portal also I will upload it. Try to complete your question answers in the notebook neatly. Till then, read the lesson. If anything, any doubt anywhere, you can ask me. Okay, take care. Thank you.